Part 3, Stellar XLM crypto. We're building a case for a bull market. And again, we're in part 3. And in part 2, what we looked at was some indicators in terms of drawdowns. What percentage has the market came down? What's a normal drawdown for, as in terms of a percentage for the market to have dropped? And if you don't know already, it's already established. You can see any technical analysis carried out on various channels that 80%, 87%, 90% is about a full pullback, a full drawdown. Yeah. So we can safely think about, are we, at a bottom before we could see a sort of reversal? So having said that, in this episode of the free series, we're going to look for more technical indicators. All right, and that being is there any other factors, technical factors, in any other markets that can influence the way the XLM price is going to be? And then we'll take into consideration the fundamental factors, and then we'll round everything up. So without further ado, Nathan, please show us the charts.
Okay, Nathan, that's great. Thanks. Let's back this up with some other factors, like what's happening in external markets. Let's see what the Dixie's doing. The Dixie is just parabolic. It's got to turn around at some point. And we all know, if you don't know, the Dixie is the basket of currencies, the basket of US currencies as a comparison, okay, to other countries. And it's doing extremely well. This doesn't say that the value of the dollar is strong against commodities, because it's not. In terms of economical factors, it's not strong, and that goes for the rest of the world. Fiat currencies are weak against actual commodities. That's why everything costs more. That's why we're having inflation. Yeah, you could see the dollar's rising, but everything is costing us more. Yeah, because of inflation, right? And now the Dixie itself seemingly has made this top, and it looks like a Bitcoin top. So if you looked at Bitcoin and you see how Bitcoin had a high, dropped down, made another new high, then it dropped down, and then it just couldn't get itself back. So we're looking out for it breaking this squiggly blue line here, the 50-day moving average. All right, if it's breaking that 50-day moving average, you could safely say that we could be looking at a turnaround. This could take several months to play out. All right, but I think it's likely that that's what's going to happen. And then there are other baskets of currencies like the euro, but I like to look at what's happening with the BIXI, the British pound, and you can see there is absolute divergence between the two. So, and when I say, you may have heard me mention confluence in the previous video with the two of these, it's confluence in the fact that they do move together, just in the opposite direction, and we'll use the correct term, which is divergence. So they're moving in the opposite direction. The minute that we start seeing the BIXI moving up, the Dixie moving down, you can see that divergence is going to be 100% clear, and that is a good enough indicator to us that the dollar is going to be losing its strength around the rest of the world, okay, which could give us a signal that yes, we could see a reversal with cryptos, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin may do a reversal. It may start to move back up from its low, and because it's got that weight on the rest of the market, it can actually affect what's happening in the other crypto market. So it gives them that boost. But I think what we will start to see with that, however, is a move in terms of dominance away from Bitcoin, because of the fundamentals for XLM, XRPs, for these other cryptos. Now, this move here, every time we've had this massive drawdown, like as you can see back in June, altcoins have had a run. So you see this picture right here of this bear market. This is dominance, Ethereum and Bitcoin dominance. And every time that moves down, other altcoins have run up. Yeah? And claim that dominance. That means they've moved up higher in price. And this is what we could be seeing right here. We've had this consolidation period for over a year now, way over a year now, and it looks like that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to start to lose dominance. And if we see that, other altcoins are going to move up, and that starts to make sense in terms of the fundamental picture about the particular blockchains in terms of their consensus mechanisms and how suitable they are for ISO 200 and 2022, which again the governments around the world are going to want to prefer to use for payments, yeah, for interoperability, for speeds of transactions when they need to get these things out. Fedwire, Swift are going to prefer them. It just is. And again, as I say, this dominance is likely to fall down for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's have a look at other factors. What we've used before is not the S&P 500 index, but the Dow Jones, which seems to have more confluence with cryptos. So as cryptos have moved down, or as the Dow Jones have moved down, so has the Dixie, and that seems to be true confluence. But what the difference here is with the Dixie, with the industrial average, the DJI, is that it hasn't hit a bear market yet, oddly enough. Or has it? Oh, I mean, if it hasn't, it could be. If it just touches 20% or just slightly over and starts to move back up, then we can say that it's not actually technically a bear market. I think it's just inside of not being in the bear market. And if that's the case, and it starts to reverse and starts to move up, then we could say the Dow Jones have never actually turned into a bear market. All right? Whereas other assets have. Whereas the S&P 500 has. FANG stocks, the NASDAQ has. All hit bear markets, yeah? And so, if this turns around, which it looks like it is, and starts to move up, and starts to move up higher, up to around 40,000, then we know that it's likely that we're going to have a run with the crypto market, and more specifically a stronger run with these other blockchains like Stellar XLM, XRP, XDC, these what crypto people like to call ISO 222 compliant cryptos. Yeah, it's not as a matter of fact. It's just a favorable blockchain mechanism that standard describes distributed ledger technology. Yeah, so with that all in mind, it's fair to say that we can build a clear picture of a turnaround, a reversal from this bear market for Stellar XLM. And actually what it could look like from this point out is here. You see that peak right there, right in the middle there? That is highly unlikely to happen again. For me, I feel that peak was actually XLM testing on MoneyGram and seeing the flows, the throughput, because you don't see this on any other in any other cryptos at this point in time. And there was some point of liquidity running in, and that could, I don't know where that liquidity's come from. I could find out whether it's USDC or USDT, but in any case, if it's USDT, then it's not going to be MoneyGram, because MoneyGram uses USDC as an anchor. But either way, look, what we're looking at is there a picture for a reversal? And this is my idea as to how and what could happen, technically speaking, in a reversal scenario. So, hope you like that one. Without further ado, I'm Nathan, aka Nathan of Zion, and it's technical analysis for today. And really, with the leading thoughts, what we've got to think about is technically, are we looking at the dawn of Stellar XLM and other blockchains with Byzantine federated consensus mechanisms as a consensus mechanism? Are we looking at the dawn of these cryptos in terms of ISO 222 compliant for the new financial rails of the future, the Great Reset? And that's the leaving thoughts, I think, with this one. And without further ado, again, I'm Nathan, aka Nathan of Zion. See you in the next one. Have a great day now.
Okay, that's great, Nathan. Thank you very much. It's a bit premature, but what we're trying to do is establish here, you have to remember that this is about, is it a safe time to buy? And that's what this technical analysis, coupled with a bit of fundamental analysis, is doing here. So rounding up this 3-part series, we should be at a point now where we can recognize that whether or not it is a good time to buy. And if we want to buy right now, knowing that the market is down, the Stellar XLM market is down over 87%, with other fundamental factors, favourable perhaps or not, we don't know for certain, nothing is a certainty, but is it a good time to buy right now? Well, certainly looking at things as they are is not the worst time to buy. Okay, we're not on the other side of things. We're actually been in a 6-month bear market. That's a factor that you've got to consider, and it is a good time to to accumulate. So if you're going to do that, you could consider maybe we're dropping down 20%. It could be 100%. We don't know that for certain. Could be more, but you could safely dollar cost average down from this point if we're going to go any further. However, what you do is entirely up to you. I'm now back on the road, and really, I'm not a financial advisor. I can only give you my opinion, what I see, with somewhat useful technical analysis, you know, but take that as you will. And hopefully we will be making another video. So what we're looking at doing is the dawn of XLM, the new cryptos, ISO 222, and we'll take a deeper look and just try and make some links. We'll try and connect some dots, right? Anyway, I'm Nathan, aka Nathan of Zion. Smash the Zioncoin to subscribe, check out the next video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now. Have a great day.